Something very bad is going to happen. Season 1 recap, Netflix TV show, full spoilers ahead. A bride walks down the aisle. Minutes later, half the wedding party is bleeding from their eyes, their nose, their mouth, and all over the place. There's blood everywhere. Here's how we got here. Full spoilers ahead. From Haley Z. Boston, executive produced by the Duffer Brothers from Stranger Things. Camila Morrone and Adam DiMarco play Rachel and Nicky, an engaged couple driving to his family's remote cabin to get married. The show is about 8 episodes long and one very, very bad week. Episode 1 is pretty easy to understand, and I'll keep it short. We pretty much find out that Rachel is the anxious one of the two and superstitious, and the trip gives her plenty to work with. A violent stranger at a rest stop, a written warning not to marry Nicky, which I thought was pretty weird. And by the time they reach the cabin, she's convinced something is terribly, terribly wrong going to happen. And that's pretty much episode 1. Meet some weird people, and we find out that, the people around the town are strange, even though it's really nobody in this town. With episodes 2 and 3, we pretty much find out what the family secret is. There's pretty much 2 things going on in this entire show. It's the weird-ass rich family and the actual twist. And we find out that at the cabin, the Cunninghams are clearly hiding something. And Rachel suspects that it's something weird, like they're trying to kill her or use her and sacrifice her or something. And we find out that the real answer is actually just depressing. And it's that Nicky's mom, Victoria, who's played by Jennifer Jason Leigh, is terminally ill. And she kept that secret from him to not ruin his wedding. And she wanted to make this like the last big event that she gets to witness before she, passes on. And I think that's the human secret. And there's still like a supernatural undertone that's going on throughout. And we're seeing some weird tunneling and all this crazy stuff going on in the background. And it's clearly something going on. And we start seeing nosebleeds and all this other weirdo stuff. And we find out from his super weird ass family that there's like some killer that everyone knows about in the town that was never caught. And I forget what his name is. I hate to say that, but I can't remember the name of the killer. But we found out a little bit more. Episodes 4 and 5, The Curse. We have 2 pretty big reveals, and they're like how Rachel and Nicky actually met and both backed out of their same flight on a bad feeling. And bigger thing, Rachel's own mother died bleeding out right after her wedding, which was actually in the same place that she's at during this entire show. The same fate is now like hanging over Rachel, and generations back, an ancestor of hers struck a deal with death to bring a fiance back to life, which we all know is a big no-no for any type of Wish movie or anything like that. And we learn from Obsession and Aladdin and all these other things. You're not supposed to bring anyone back to life. You're not supposed to wish anyone loves you or do deals with the devil at all. But it costed a lot of things like passing down this curse to her bloodline. And the only way to break the curse is for her to marry someone who is truly her soulmate. And if she doesn't, she will bleed out by sundown, just like her mom did. And her dad had to do some shicey stuff. She found like this footage because her dad ended up popping it on her and everyone thought he was the killer. But on the day that her mom and her dad got married, her dad had to slice her mom's stomach open and pretty much give her that C-section on the spot. And to save Rachel, baby Rachel. And she's seeing all this because he had a camcorder and yada, yada, yada. The dad showed Rachel this evidence to say, hey, don't get married to this guy because you're going to be fucked if you do. Unless you just know deep down in your heart that you actually love him with every piece of you. If not, you're going to be cooked. And oh yeah, don't get pissed off. I just thought about it. There's some other weird shit that happened. Like she finds like... I think I have my timeline straight. If not, this is going to be a whack-ass video. But this is just straight up. This is Aunt watches film, so we know how this goes. I think she finds an effigy of, like, because she cannot find her wedding dress. She cannot find it, so her fiance claims he's going to go back and go pick it up. They think they left it in Chicago or they left it in Ohio or something at their friend's house, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it makes it all creepy and weird. And she's just looking for her dress. She can't find this shit no matter what. But she goes in the woods. She finds like some effigy of some like weird witch occult thing wearing her dress in the middle of the woods. Either this is in between these episodes or on another episode ahead, whatever. You should watch the show on your own anyway, but I'm just giving you an overview. But yes, I'll put some pictures in here. You'll see it, some weird thing like wearing her dress, yada, yada, yada. And then we find out that it was Nicky's brother's son, who's a little piece of shit that goes around stealing things that isn't his, and he acts like a little dumbass. For episode 6, I'm going to call this one the warning signs. Even though there's warning signs all throughout since the first episode all the way to this one, we found out a lot more like weird shit about his family and his like helicopter sister who is wacky as hell. And she kind of reminds me of the chick that plays in the show Sweet Pea. But yeah, she's insane, and his sister is planning out their wedding, and she doesn't let Rachel have really any input into what goes into the wedding, what she can wear. Rachel doesn't have anyone to invite because she doesn't fuck with her dad. Her mom's dead, and she doesn't have any siblings or anyone to come to the wedding. So Rachel wanted this whole wedding to be small and like cozy feeling, whatever. But Nicky's sister was like, yeah, it's going to be small. It's only going to be like 100 people. And Rachel's shocked. Yada, yada, yada. They have some weird people that come show up to like the day before the wedding. Some people to come hang out for Rachel to meet. And they do some like weird, like forced eye contact exercise with Nicky. And it goes kind of wrong because Rachel like flashes to her like own death, kind of mirroring what happened to her mom when she looked on that camcorder where she was like bleeding out her nose, her mouth, and her ears and all that crazy stuff. And it like rattles her enough to start looking for a way to guarantee that Nicky's really her soulmate instead of just hoping, because she finds out that the curse is really real, and she honestly feels that deep in her soul that the curse is real. And Nicky's brother knows the curse is real as well, and he feels that deep in his heart. And he goes back and he tells his wife that the curse is real. So they're trying to come up with a plan of how to do it. But she's starting to have some doubt. There's starting to be like some family controversy and some whack shit going on. And then we get to episode 7 that I think is probably one of the most interesting episodes and kind of still like a filler episode. But yeah, we're going to get into episode 7, The Ritual. Okay. I think I missed something. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I missed something. Okay, who cares? Back in the other episode, we're still going to talk about the ritual for this episode before the last episode. They pull out a homemade Ouija board, pretty much. Nicky's sister knows how to talk to the dead. She thinks. She really doesn't know, but they give it a shot. Rachel wants to talk to her ancestor or her mom or someone from the dead to tell her how to beat this curse. So they start playing around with the dead, and that shit works. And it possesses Nicky's sister, and it breaks her freaking nose, and she starts crawling over all around the place, and everybody's freaked out, all of the wedding guests and all that stuff, all the maids of honor. And Nicky's sister crawls over to our main character, Rachel, and she starts speaking to her like she is, I don't know, an entity, demon. She gives her a warning of how to do a ritual to break this. And this is kind of their last shot of, hey, we got to do something, because if homeboy is not my the love of my life, I'm going to be cooked and I'm going to be dying, and it's going to be bloody. A whole lot of red going on. But yeah, anyway, the ritual for episode 7. This is a homemade ritual. They found this book. They need to gather personal objects. They need to take something from Nicky, a piece of herself, something from the mom, also something from Nicky's sister, and they need to mix it into a drink, and it would lock a bond pretty much, and she has to drink it. I think she takes something from herself. She takes Nicky's brother, and Nicky's brother is a doctor, and he cuts her fucking toe off, and he puts it in the drink. And then they need sperm. They have to get sperm from Nicky. They put that thing in the drink. They need some type of blood from the sister-in-law. They get that. And then she also needs to take a lock of hair from the mom and she mixes all that shit in that nasty thing. She goes through all of this just to not even go through with it. She's just like, you know what? I believe in him. I don't think I need to do this ritual. She's walking around missing a toe. And she doesn't even drink it. I wouldn't drink it either, because who the fuck would want to? So she chooses to trust Nicky. But we're going to see in episode 8, was it worth it? Or should she have went through with this nasty-ass ritual concoction of oobleck, garbage, and toe fungus? We'll see. Wait. I swear I'm going to be doing this all throughout this video, but it's okay. I think it's enjoyable, and you still need to go watch the show on your own so you can get your timeline all the way together. I'm just giving you an overview, but I have not mentioned the dad much. The dad is also a former doctor or whatever, and he's a weird fuck. He's obsessive over his wife, who is Nicky's mom, of course. But he does some weird freaky shit, like he taxidermies like all of their dogs when they die, and he has them all over the house. He does some weird shit. You see him peeling the fucking skin off his labradoodle or whatever type of dog it is head. He's peeling that face back, and he's stuffing it with cotton and all types of foreign objects, and he puts it around the house, and they have like family portraits and all this weird shit going on. So you still get to see some creepy weird stuff, and they're also going hunting with the dad, doing all types of different things. But yes, once again, okay, we're gonna cut into the wedding. Boy, oh boy, do we find out some greasy shit in this episode. At the rehearsal dinner, we find out that they're like their meeting, their origin story wasn't actually true, and Rachel is shaken. Her trust is shaken because Nicky's brother pretty much cockblocks him and says that, wait, you're a fucking liar. You did not meet her at the airport and have this like same intuition, deep feeling and understanding that Rachel had. We found out that Nicky used Rachel as a rebound. He got broken up with at the airport and then met Rachel the same day. Nicky's a piece of shit. We find out that he is a gabagool piece of shit. We found out that Rachel does not want to get married to Nicky any longer. But not over the curse, but because of the week being shitty. And also, she felt like her trust in him was just broken. She is fully not even hesitant. She just doesn't want to marry this guy. She finds out that he's a problem. He's been lying to her about all types of shit. And he's just not trustworthy. And no one really likes him right now. Some events occur, but that person that takes over the curse, who's been alive for hundreds of years, he has to be a witness at the wedding, and he's there to pretty much say that, okay, you're cursed and you're fucked. And anyway, they kind of go through with the wedding. They still do. They talk her into doing it kind of after she gives her vows. She's given her vows to him, and he's just like, oh, fuck this, we don't need to do a wedding and all this goofy ass shit. And as I'm watching the show, I was like, I really hate Nicky. I really do. I'm team Rachel all the way. But anyway, the clock strikes whatever it needs to strike. They don't go through with it, so the curse is in full effect. And guess what? Rachel is not the one that's getting cursed. Everyone that is related to Nicky is getting fucking mobbed by this curse, and they're all dying, and everyone's bleeding out their ears and their nose and their mouth. And then Nicky's sister dies because she's next kin, and she was married, and she didn't tell anyone she got married in Vegas, and she had one of those like weird shotgun weddings or whatever. She's dead. So Nicky is like feeling super shitty because everyone in the family's like, what the fuck is going on? And he rushes back in to finish his vows, but it's too late. And once again, the curse is going rampant. There's blood fucking everywhere. You're going to see pictures. But we find out that she gave her vows, so technically the curse did go through. So she's included as well. It's a whole weird gabagool thing going on, whatever. The entity guy's like, yeah, you already said your vows, so guess where you're gonna die too. Nicky's mom is dying. She has the blood coming out her nose and her mouth. The dad is still present. Nicky is still alive. Nicky's brother is still alive. Nicky's wife is still alive. I don't really know why. The child is still alive. The little asshole. We think that Rachel's going to be spared, but she isn't. Rachel dies, but she becomes the new immortal witness to the curse, and she's doomed to watch over every future Cunningham wedding. And she pretty much has her like I'm the hero of my own story moment, and she walks out alone and she drives off. And that's how we end the show, with everyone else being cursed in the child of the Cunningham family, being the next one, that if he cannot find his soulmate, he will be cursed and they all will die. So crazy wacky show. And I pretty much say the verdict is like, it's strong early dread. The finale comes and it commits to its bit. It sags in the middle. There's some filler. There's definitely some filler and some weird shit going on, but I dig it. And there's tonal swings throughout, and some grief and some gore. And I don't think the show's going to work out for everyone, but if you want that A24, that neon feeling, and sometimes everything's a little bit all over the place, but it's shot really well. There's some creepy shit going on, some occult stuff, some entities and supernatural stuff. I say check out this show. I just dropped like 15 minutes, first time ever on a YouTube a review of a show. And I say, go check out this show. It's on Netflix, or check it out any other type of way that you can. Borrow your mama's password or whatever. I say check it out. It's 8 episodes only, and I say it's pretty entertaining. Tell me below in the comments, did Nicky deserve better or worse? I think personally, Nicky deserved to get kicked in the nads. But yes, this is Ant Watches Film. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Peace.